Hey folks, welcome to our very first video of our PYSPARK playlist. In this video, we are going to discuss why we are using PYSPARK while we have Pandas. So, when dealing with big data, performance and scalability are critical. While Python Pandas is a fantastic tool for data analysis on small to moderately sized datasets, it struggles with large-scale data processing. This is where PySpark, the Python API of Apache Spark, becomes a game changer. So this is the most asked interview question. So let's get started. So in this video, I will clearly explain with an example and architecture insights. By the end, you will know exactly when to use Pandas and when to move to PySpark. So let's get started with our why Pandas is created as a problem while handling the big data. First, Pandas is amazing. It is flexible, simple, and super fast on all small data sets. But there is an issue with it. Pandas work best when your data fits into your computer RAM. Means more the RAM, more amount of data you can process. So let's get back. Okay. So example, let me take an example. Suppose you have a CSV file with 1 million records. So Pandas reads it smoothly without any lag or any performance issue. So let me consider the big data use case where we have large data volumes. So in this case, let me take 1 TB of file. So 1 TB or billions of records coming from multiple systems. What happens when we do that? Pandas will crash or laptop will freeze, or it will take hours even if it works. So that's where the problems will cause. Memory will overflow. These are the things will face. So here comes the PySpark, the only solution for Pandas. So in data frames, there are other big data solutions also. So let's get into this, how PySpark handles this. So PySpark is built for big data. It doesn't load all the data into your memory at once. So instead, it divides the data into small chunks called partitions. It distributes these partitions across multiple computers or nodes. We call it as nodes. So it's like an individual machines. So each will have some computational power and some memory. So each node sits into small piece in parallel. So result, you can process terabytes and petabytes of data. You don't need a super expensive machine. Spark doesn't smartly across a cluster. So we can better understand this using the architecture. So coming to the architecture. So architecture comparison of Pandas and PySpark can be clearly seen here. This is not the original complete architecture. So just for understanding purpose, I have created the architecture by myself. So similar, this will be almost similar, but we can get deeper understanding of this in later lectures. I will make a separate video of that. So here let me take an example. Suppose I am having 10 GB of file to be loaded. I want to process through Pandas and using PySpark. So what happens is, like, when I use the Pandas, it computes on a single machine and whole data will be processed on a single machine. Whereas in PySpark, so whole 10 GB gets into the Spark engine. The 10 GB will be divided into two here. Executor and two executors are there in this configuration. So the whole data will be divided into 5 GB and 5 GB and it get processed. So we can configure those separately. So we can have 3 and 4 or multiple. Based on our data volume, we will configure the data, configure the partitions and executors and everything. So that's about the architecture, and let's have a simple code example. So here in Pandas and PySpark, almost the code API and everything will be similar, the syntax. So here we can see the import function in Pandas, same as in PySpark. So in PySpark we have the Spark session initialization, which is to leverage our Spark abilities. So Spark has multiple and robust functions that we can use on big data. So for that we need to get the functionality to be loaded into Spark. So coming to data frame, reading CSV files or whatever file, the same creating a data frame and printing out the data. We use the dot show and here we use the print. So almost the code is same. So it is easy when we have the pandas experience or knowledge, we can get into PySpark. So let us get the comparison between pandas and PySpark. So I simplified this by saying pandas is a personal computer, whereas PySpark is a data center. So that's a simple simplification of whole thing. So PySpark means data center, means we have multiple different storage and different computational powers. So we can have a separate, for each data volumes we can separately process the whole data. So let us get into the differences here. So here I have taken the differences between pandas and PySpark and where we need to use and when to use. So when we are having small data size, we can use pandas. When we are having terabytes and petabytes, we use PySpark, and the data will be processed in a single machine. We have clustered nodes and machines in PySpark, and the speed of the data here, when we are having small data volume, the processing speed will be fast, and here whether it is small or large, the processing speed will be fast. So setup is complex, and here it is a moderate setup, but we can able to get it easily. So that's why we use PySpark when we have huge data sets that pandas just cannot handle. So that's about this video. In the next videos we will dive deeper into the architecture and some of the better functionalities and how we can have the code optimization and everything in PySpark. In later videos we will have a clear understanding of those. So please do subscribe.